13 as a 12 and I'm so keen yes you eye den no man pani na Kufuado appointee edipa be brisa Supreme Court eye den ono pe anana ye nse o man pani Kufuado ba ye Supreme Court judges no equal retirement sana man so kire obi call retirement now the biasim obi call retirement no the biasim eto man pani Kufuado edipa be break retirement and we replace wo any person na person Mahama edo maba no ya musa the question say the person no omo replace one omo replace Ubia. He only added on. So what it means is that he only padded the court. Person Mahama padded the court no when the fellow pardon no where any fellow pardon then ye President Kufuado di ni bi me no ka say we yi ma menedi asem wo court and deputy attorney general justice Shemsai e de kata akwa court Supreme Court nim say asem na ye ma me get to ko ndi ko high court no obo elfa ma Supreme Court na o mechechim what the questions be for bi aba say ye hwe say subi ebeye Supreme Court obeye chief justice na na djuma as judge no wajaye anaso nyaye so bi chief justice nipa kro no se unity as chief justice obekọ so atimi ai na djuma as justice of the court na obusa by four questions for me I agree I was say Supreme Court and Supreme Court and that interpretation no omo ene wo sa mandate so betimi ayisa ensema no it ye hwe city just that for me baby Ghana akono ye ko baby ye me say ye ko ye chikakra because days are now omampani bitimi take judicial ni na say person manipulating ye dim say atwam we never envisage say omampani bi beba in the person of President John Dramani Mahama na waba be ye na dwe say o manipulate judicial system no and that's what he's done eventually succeeding because waka say eso bia ntimi nkabi obia ntimi nsum etie no ehon nkomo eho ibedi sa enkomo no kakra MPP internal so ewo ho ene menyane tie se engineer ko beje Japan converting na honorable kre Japan eso converting Dr. Baumia eso converting minim address no so mo so ko nda na se be nyame adoma e channel be ko dia ba so far de nipa me say na mate se mo converting enti ebedi ehon nkomo obi Dr. Bechapo ko ye no Bechapo so converting ne all right enti Dr. Bechapo so far fall matie Dr. Bechapo converting will be beside the question be now we yano and was say campaign die your jobs kakra which is true was it the jobs na ye totodo e was so di nyansa eto sana Dr. Bechapo kan was it jobs ndi ye toto kakra na so no e was so di nyansa was wisdom so di nyansa eto jobs na wo toto no ho said ye be ya untu obiani no no obi bi ta popo ni mas ba ko ye de ya ye de cheche ba ko tu ba ko ni dia e be ye din se ye to aba no evia obi ta ko reconcile with obi a wo to the campaign time no then the question is line he fa ne draw no say true jobs ye bi to aja po bi kakra anade ye fa ko to the bakodin he fa ne draw line no and na jobs no ye to no Edipalo do say there was a wisdom le say asewa me kan die said that ha will be kese but my men point kakra bi na men kom baby and then that you say nipa ko so wo to the jobs no do you know how many jobs you will be to take you because you are comfortable with ana say you say to you the a job you are want to no and can say that hardly but what about the recipient sekaya waka sana ka ozubo fili enti no media ya asem se be ye to jobs kakra ni make sure say ye nkutu obi ani kakra bi na because election dey denya 1 or 2 bi ebitimi abem enti ye fa ye no so ehwe na ebe hu de ebekoso galamse ngobo no so ekoso enti no se bebe ma ebedisa enkponi nyina no ebezofo be mo bibia akwaba bi mene settle ofe na ebedi enkomo we policy analyst and now MPP communication team member and then Otu Philip Akrobo woye sha Osudoku constituency communication team member ebusafo Sato mu akwaba
me agodo
na nema te say
nyame krokro mu apohu di anke
na akaden
akade aka mama mu
okay
odi abaso eso akoye se articulate aka odi anima amane odi achirenso amane odi nchima amane ntina de we ansa batwe ho na amanako ansana wonya ko so
pakincha na amane kwado etu ko boso wa pakina wo twemu no esentimi dane
eno ni ansa
na abehwe ka no so
mpa ase okotra ko iri makwa aponcheni etuhu ngufre.
All right, Philip.
Diwe tiefo.
Mati, Philip na say.
Nyame adom bi aboko.
Ye de nyame ase na Sha Osudoku te say.
Oh, Sha Osudoku de aboko nyame adaromenti. Bibi aboko wo Sha Osudoku.
Ye de nyame ase. Na ko demonstration ni bi.
Oh, mitimi ko bi.
O start wo your Brasport.
Yeah, me bo Brasport.
Sa.
I want na start organization ni nyina na. Ya de ejina mu
na set de no we adwum ya de nti ma me no start from nkomo no e wo Fred say demonstration e kwai no net say wo ko Holman opa no
okay me da
so be che busafo ansa ho
me da wase me fa akonnwa we so achia Sha Osudoku constituency executives police station electoral area any party for nyina na ya won penifo me no be so Sha Osudoku a omomodin bontinu almost as part of the rebuilding process na party ni ye no pese omodo amuhu si ho osum party no eye honorable Archibald Gamu Koleti no pese ko for national organizer na honorable Benjamin Nage 2020-2024 parliamentary candidate ono so pese ko for regional organizer in fact honorable Adwuma it is omo pese omo ko anima ye be sre si ani for no se mani duwa omo hwe wo na momo ahoden no na mo besom na as part of recapturing power in 2028 no yentimi to me no na me nua be ma Mr. Moses ono de biako constituency in fact obon hu modin ye pa me share nimre so
tejo so afiyanko na demonstration na ye koye no na etesay o start your Brasport atwafun say that say e dey to the demonstration ne
okay enti hwe na demonstration na ye koye wo hwe edin da so se den yensuro hu na ohwe ni ekoso 9 months ni NDC government anama mumu a na in fact asefim pa because ohwe NDC almost some Democratic Party na ohwe ni ekoso a in fact odwuma wonti ase nti no MPP yeso yeti kebi mami kebi amamu ase no yempenifo Salah Mustafa National Youth Organizer di enimo e decide say no sana obi kasa na na say ochina say ni abechu akwese ye kai kasa bo ahye mu ye ka bibia at least ye nhwe kasa na ye ka no be mo abani ni say wo ka wo say no ntini o ye bibi no de aka mo ahye na mamo so de ye ntini wo ko bi sha na ko di say ni a wo ye we di say be correct
okay
ntini MPP ene ye bobo aye ho anopa no be share wo Brasport mpenifo bebre baye in fact members of parliament be baye me honorable Sami Oku ho national organizer national youth organizer youth wing no omo nyina mo baye then you start here in fact kama na bibi de se na oni ye no basa ye de ade bi oni ye enye ye chefa in fact fit your Brasport could do police headquarters I presented the first petition no Bediako toti police ni bi eni obeka se MPP ni bi ha no ano ye bibi ano mpe no da bi bibi ye kama ye fee police headquarters ye besin ko Jubilee House e ko presenter president so de man wo honum out mu say in fact enedwuma de no ko ye ko na nipa epie ye no mujidi say ama NDC aban signal bi say no ni akoso no enya dia Ghana for no jinwe MPP nko awo we say enya asemba kwa meka no say ena MPP for the echi wo obi a so ye floating voter no wo so obedu da bako ka bibia wo so ba be chiw if say aban no pese be criticizing no ben democratic system no obi a wo kwan so kire na adwen opposition parties no wo kwan so mo kire ma adwen it is opposition party for kire ma adwen na sa aban no say da bi na o kapayes ye me chiw o kapayes ye intimidate wa enewa officer da woni party bi amu ntini de mfa ho no ochina ye chia na ekwa ba bedu so
yo
ntina na de dwuma de no ko yie okay da se da be ma party penifo
mati sato would now would but I'm sure say what we do commentary ka crash see the pictures and videos ka cry. It says so far.
I'm not na mincheti for the ahefo. Na menka say our democracy should not be left in the hands of people who will be toying with it. I say this in all humility, and it's a, you see, say our democracy, not say a nyimpa is better than military rule. Of course, that is my assertion, and that is my observation. Indeed, I will say that the BBI be protect democracy. There, I will say yeah. And one of the key things I do protect democracy is freedom. Not just freedom, but pivotal on the agenda is freedom of speech. And as I say, when you do asem, na asem to say denkura. The moment any panel voice out, no, but the temperature above. And until I say, obi kan kasa bo ahye oyema na yese waboa bra osu.
Yeah.
And until in any effort bia e be faso e be protect your freedom of speech there, I will say faso. No matter the amount e be spend, and no matter the effort e be make, near they protect that freedom of speech no. It is not for nothing thing a president Kofo be di aban obamodia under the leadership of the then Attorney General Honorable Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, then Honorable Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, now His Excellency the former President of the Republic of Ghana, and making all efforts to repeal the criminal libel law. We did this at time na in central fumpo mukasa mono na adding because you didn't know the fine line to be able to air out your grievances without falling foul of the law. And you repeal the criminal libel law no na me the power. By then I'm a young, but of course I saw the energy with which journalists would do Juma. Fast forward to the second coming of MPP into government, that is from 2017 to 2024, under the leadership of the then Minister for Information, Kwadwo Ponkroma, ably supported by the then Deputy Minister, Fatima Chobaka, Myanmami, Ejuma Mojeye, organize capacity building programs for journalists, to the point say we could see that the information ministry became more or less like an arm of the media. And not at any point here you could see that there was free flow of information. Without curtailing the right of any journalist and preventing them from having access to any information. To the point where on live radio, journalists are opposition members to chastise buying. I don't remember the last time I achieved a cartoon in that Rambo style. I had Mama journalist, hey, Kumase Kotuma, under this pseudo national security operative. Ever seen me? We should say a charging him. Or my charging. Or my charging or court. I'm on a bill. I'm walking back. I think it's next week. So, you see? So, when you look at the effort in Penifo, be kind of a shame and making sure the journalists, but my Juma freely. I be can't. Yea, a man for a 2 man at a point you could see, Obia or quite can I drink. Obi cry to the extent say book. To redeem the president Ghana never had us saying. And I'm that be maybe extra titles, you see. So to that extent, say media for media freedom, it me air movies. And I'm feeling say Anka President Mahama ban the second coming, no, having regard to the first term experiences of Nanka, he was going to live a life of legacies. But of course, me, Madam Vigaton's legacy is a living, it is in two folds. It could be a bad legacy or a good legacy. I don't know which part President Mahama want to chat. It is too early for me to call him somebody who wants to leave a bad legacy. But the signs are so clear on the wall, say, you don't need a soothsayer or a prophet to tell you, say, President Mahama and the second coming, just as was promised in the Bible, say, Jesus Christ, the second coming will be, to say, Arenadino. equally I am perceiving President Mahama's second coming to be one of those.
Okay, so book no say the president Ghana never got.
Yes, the president Ghana never got. And if you read into the details of the description of President Akufo-Addo,
na ano ya
so what papa ne President Akufo-Addo ne twese ansem no fa no ho shia sa abante na se dem na okrom ha on ha dem na be so nsema ye ne so ye but when e ni bi obi anya na hwe that tells you the tolerance level of the then president and then the presidents and then the appointees and even by extension the security operatives of this country. But then you see so Obama in so constituency amasama madam Fupa, it was shocking to hear say just a reposting of Obi video telling President Mahama say he should let the security agencies to act brought about the arrest. You see, I believe say police for AI in media as an arm of the NDC either than a state agency.
Said Williams, fetch me. Now me coffee me read a book na bro this year. The president Ghana never got. Me share quotations be a woman. You see? Na quotation be was saying these and many other attacks on journalists and media houses in the Akufo-Addo era silence some journalists. Even the most critical media houses are now cautious. Self-censorship is the new normal, and journalists who have a negative story or opinion about the government will first consider their safety before deciding to publish.
What don't you know? Do you know or your farmer will make classy?
Dabi,
what on your farmer?
Dabi, no, it's a journey.
Do you know what you're saying?
You
see, so this is the kind of journalism a course under President Akufo-Addo. And a quarter of this has been said about President Mahama. As President Krampono, Eddie President Akufo-Addo at him. To the sense of friend Kronfo, or no or pushing in your Gabi, and then offer say Asare-Bediako say Omunkovia said they call retirement. He eat from the proceeds.
I was see alone see that President Akufo-Addo me there be was one join him say what corrupt no because when say the lianom and the pusa for e be viesika.
When the pronounce will be guilty in this country, it is only the law court that can pronounce you say we are guilty of an offense and call you a criminal. But to the point say President Mahama even had that freedom President Akufo-Addo didn't be obi anya no hwe. And then the same president say it will be an IP address. Really? Now then now IP address nyejuma okroma.
Adewo. Eso ma fa nyejuma.
This is the level of insecurity in this country. Insecurity and you say you create to original pampam. Nanka ya pa still o ma ru baby a etu ijama fa pampam. So akobiri
wadu krum.
E dey nsi wo ho.
Nipa 15,000 a year. Ivory Coast.
Adana me kan say anka Ghana de ye nanka eji aho. Na Ghana is safe haven for atukotena for. Enti we say na Burkina for abetena ha. Na Cote d'Ivoire for abetena ha. Benin for na maba. Ene de na atu Ghana ntia ya to abesenu a ye mu yetu kwan akotena amanfo amanso. When the Kikanka Hunachi President Mahama say Obienya Yasunji and now come Manswa Galam say Momenti it will cool party say Akoko or assemblyman a bonitokun.
Yeah,
I was here. We did the last week, we test our story, no? Daylight near Butu. These are not matters of concern to President Mahama. Nemom, nyama dia enkoso ye. Ono ahye ho boso ba we si anokwan wontimi nyana ye kaka ne se bema de o ka so wa be ni o na wontimi nyaye na o se de bi menka wonya me kaka afo o ka be pe na chiwatum we na ma MPP mabunu eni mpanyifo ka mo adwebo mu se dadi yentimi tran ye na ya yensa meye awo ye ewo ye mem enu nti wo se tu anamon you think to so called the aban say that aban there the least thing you can guarantee and I give to your citizens and it's a woman cannot the harm or macatro. These are the reasons in here. NPP as a political party that believes in freedom of speech, development in freedom, and yes, about organize a demonstration to air our grievances to the security agencies. And then we can was IGP Yohunu. I believe say na dampari nim said you see TNT no car say the biggest fear of an abrabo when he say obeje na chiamu obi a onti no boni mapa wa hyase aye ediama omai me say IGP dampari no nye obofo. Yes, as Christ was not vindicated and I say he was not held in all respects or ye konkron say you know. But sanka wenkwa dia meje bi say nanka dampare say Yohonu because Yohonu ya born ka mutu who they need to find that person ne mo question the boss say mama yes adi we no me ba and I say akonya beda ha me mom the opportunity to be in the police service. This is a classic example of irony.
You see, so we share letter na President Mahama then opposition leader Mahama a chokoma and Kufuor as president na any allegations or level against President Kufuor no. I am tempted to believe say na dampare utimi performing ejuma said the openo because said na Kufuor na president. Me Judicial senka Yohunu so say the Yohunu first no senga man kwan say ono operate quarters and can you see we would have been better than this because the under dampare was doing his work operationally well because election 2024
operations in charge.
Yes
election 2024. Can you tell me say government was in control of security? It was the security agencies na or money their affairs.
Eti we say Yohunu say enye person Mahama and manipulate the say you see ya and akonwa de ho a Judicial kidon so very professional as compared to what you are seeing now.
So you see anything that was say is free abroad no international being for professionalism in Judicial teaching
no continue to be den
na come no on be IGP no ni di go down. What kind Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 11? Or say, so per wanya na unye no kwampa so na afa kwampa so nya ho a. What is akoko dia wato nkosu egu baabi a ne yonko rutu so. Omu na ponu mienu nanso mfaso bi anye den e ma so. Na me yesa japade nyina na odi se ya. Onte se ya ka se dimpa ayesi nya ho nya na. Amunya ide kwan
ebiendo won se dan
hwe onima onka kanani ko echi be 1 month ya ministers cabinet ministers just on a trip obi ba fie back anka ya munya de nko ade asanka be tina save omo ojiri sanka mo yare dia eda ya sabia anka sika ben enanka inti fansa mo yare the whole president impo na munya de ntimi save ne nkwa Emma within a twinkle of an eye 24th July ekaba bidia na wo a we an appointee of the highest authority no a we the final authority office say wo bodia ebeka nsem na anka na ntwetu no wo konfo we den ko keep forever
yo
nti na ka che IGP Yohunu say edijawa need as well dachi the track record ye try ye fa President Mahama di embata ho ye be recording as IGP former IGP on making sure say okono obeja di mpa ntimara be ka say enya IGP bia na ye fa Yohunu enye say Yohunu keke Christian saka ne di ho
and first me Christian
on making sure say o live a Christ-like character na ofuru ho no ma ya money di entumra amfangu
me that Seth na me Romax business say catch me kai etie for say President Kufuor do eso so e pass RTI right to information,
free access to information.
Yes, me that's pass what yeah, me that's pass what kind me but Chief Justice the air course no you know you bit me edi ehun komo and for money e call and vet the course so the MPP matters are rising but make it to be say any demonstration e course no you see for the past 1 week my said that monitor WhatsApp pages bikakra pro MPP WhatsApp pages you're very careful shey and the Ebema party no a winning election me mat pick example 2016 elections even though MPP for MPP for call said them ko meeting Emma moto so abakro po bibi sa aka se was in we akobeje Japan eni we Polafuku eni bakro pe kan refer say Sami Crab say bomo etnanting no ebilisi the unprecedented the history of Ghana politics and before taking that decision no obu taking decision we say put to say party the be stronger than before Emma your coalition 2016 it mean win elections no yeah now you was strong party and the Sabinia strong what do you call it leadership candidate powerful but a very difficult party individual betting me a winning presidency no on the back of a weak party a back a candidate and said they compa alpha because over Trump party na party na nyensa agugu ba ko nso kan so abab kompe koli e fa obetimi di wako and then demonstration answer match ye koyi me say for the past 5 days I said that monitor any kakra and people be as if say ye koye match na ye kwakoye to the benefit of one individual our party no we nice idea no we nice idea you very careful. Edu we ko people say I abroad the empty and na ye kwakwa demonstration no and I say na assume that admitting say chairman kwa ba for board go put the demonstration and so what party ni what party regional chairman and yamma papa wa yamma party no bi ni ye ba opposition yes ye ba opposition and say papa na kwa ba for board enka ye attack be no fa nko aban no so. Now I also play flag bearer no yeah opa yeah for the past 5 months attack about and since about opposition attack by criticism about ama aban no party ninti every nyina si derby yachiwe etumi na mommiamra niantinte sukoko encha ban ne say President Mahame wonye majority shareholder our my Ghana even equal shareholders and we must tell him forcefully in his face na edunum na wokwa and say so deliberately they stayed back omamom nko for so ama ye besre emwa na we stay back no say who be your flag bearer na others no so see you be stay back o she ye chi ye kaze okwa attack obukenu frate fi aheya na yetim ye kasaye ye mini kokuda ne dasebe na empadifo bi ekoso na odumu eka na obukenu frata obo finance minister no ede na mfaso be no munya wolo so ade omo muska bie die na omamodai era message so abadon ma ode ma wo bie me wo ma one city da me ko abitial ma wo hunu ma hwe woni but I think say the sofu bi ewo Germany wo kan no was e ba we fa we ma fo ma ankasa wo because believe woman and be fa Baptist force ma ankasa because be Baptist ni ye be fa we ma ankasa afa ye be fa me so do obi ankasa because e do bi akọ enti na ho emo ye nya ni sa as if we knew ye be ye ni sa ba bo so ye chi me yachiwe ma wontumi yachima se chiche ma wontumi enti eba ye na nkas media house ye se dia ye di ya fa denta kumi enfa ya ho yachiche ma akwa bafa bonye ye se enfa ya ho yachi efi kateche fifa ye se enfa ya ho en yachi me kebe den
invite one kura
invite bebre it's your best way a do sa party ni menhwe party ni first any individual bia mesramo na intimi hu otu yankoi tide na obeko bi ni yenhwe de
meka kakra fa demonstration
meka se no bi okay yanko
won say ya kan say MPP party enye say yeti abone o yenti abone
enye say mo fo abone so what you say yen fo abone so na so bi ye bone ai bia beka say because of MPP ni ntino esese aban no ede ne ho che no benya ye kan ni say kwanya ye fa so de yade no na yenye de ye ni nji kwanya ye fa so de yade no na ye de ye ni nji if you say MPP ni ye de a yesi ye koche no be say party power ni ye de a on the oko free ye kwa kwatia you comment am for make you akwatia na ye hu social media no say yesi ye yachi obi be hwe kwa ye fa so chiche ma bronye on so kasa ba ko na no kan yo you hwe kwa ye fa so koche no NDC communication officer yo ko kan say omo pe minority leader what's the minority leader any friend say all about no don pray and then na
bon question ni say why you fa so chi abronye no sa na chi wo ma na say ya pass ya chi wo ma sa na fa so chi wo ma we mu na MPP for say oh enye fine because ye nyina ye wo ma mu ye nyina ye wo kwan say ye kasa ene se ye de ye kwadwo a ye fa nya kwame nema ye kebi ma min kebi nyede endimu enu na MPP yesi de ye ninji hu afso your ba chief justice and sensem no so
okay
in fact wo hwe ye mampani John Mahama when you say tumi awanya e wo parliament ni ti no o pese Ghana nkasa no e say onya tumi ni nyina
absolute control
so senate if you say chief justice wo hwe nyina so ye gina so ye say ye de suspend no ansana ene ye say apamu ni ya now to me say in fact me ntiase
e mo rem
ntiase so ni so to kwan me ni to obi to me gina so atwron krata ense ye nya de ye yi ni fi because enyi hia ye won penifo bebre wo kromo wo mu no ba so to kwan
aba Ghana ebran so wo holo mo de ye akoyo mo travel yi ni chese wo betimi enu kuru etukwan betimi ba etukwan
ene president so ni Ghana so ni yere na koye
ai kwambo fo kama
wane me yere na koye
yeah
ye be ka so no so no ba ye be chron krata akosi ye nana
bofo de wari bi
ye won penifo bebre wo mu no me yere ni tukwan enti no me fans me ka se yesi e be ko no se ya ene no man no ni empo man ni efi se so china abafoforo so ba onu so benya bibia aka
of course
onu so benya bibia aka enti se yesi e be ko no se bo se be du mu bi no e be sa ban bi obebe bia no e be pen krofo betumi ni o ma ye adwuma se na be ya onu so na mamu no obe ko no se na ope eni ni pay aye seti se no because some obi be me na so ni se o nipa we e ya ba we na de ne ba ye mini ama mpese me ye no embo ama mamu a onu be pen sesa na ma ye e ba sa na ye rule of law na nkasa na o man no ye di enye adwuma there's no rule of law e di me dey say na mesra man penin say in fact 2 million so pen wenya say we parliament who overwhelming majority appointment a person we nyina wa ye nyina o ma ye judicial system no so nye the any independent judicial system any independent because honor and o ma ni nyina ye den ye dan it is a honor so no be political and na say make say ye ni baby ayeko
asmart ye
ni baby ayeko because we UK IS me fan so many colonial masters IS we film chena enye we mu no mo ye enye se no mo ye no it is yes we film chena enye nsua ni ye ni enye ni ye ni mbo na man nkoso because say me MPP ba mu a ye benya MPP youth bi so be sorry aka se na ko no bi etwoma na se ni ye nko no no man ye ko mbo aye nti ye be sere o ma pani se bebi awadu no eye on my constitution enye adwuma na independent judiciary na ewo constitution mu no yemfasa enye adwuma no more mining koso
medase that we to do is we say government to develop roadmap to curb cross-border pirates of DSTV decoders and services from Nigeria to Ghana. It is in a DSTV in Komobi, what really is it about DSTV?
Communication minister there. I think the least talked about him, the better. I don't want to dwell on him because you see, the communication ministry, wasn't the same communication ministry that was held by reputable men. Now they were disciplined, very organized, diplomatic in their dealings with corporate bodies and the whole of the country. What has happened? Are we trying to reward babies with sharp teeth, or people who can spew out invectives on their fellow human beings just for political expedience? We have myriad of issues, communication ministry, everything I deal with, especially when it comes to the media space, and radio stations be the kind of words they use in daylight being broadcasted to the point say Okwabrani TV Kotna radio station, TV station, a whole tribe. Then he takes them up. Kekandi opesa okachi will be a motuma MPP I don't want to repeat those because one can fear. But we know these names and the kind of characters that were behind this kind of pronouncements. What has he been able to do to them? Or making sure say your data no boy DNA. What data within seconds now, son? Fun and what days I want to make to my whole day. I make sure say your data boy from and auto credit they do how many minutes? Just outside Accra, network issue. A month for bed, Fred or Mogusa for Crampono, and why a day. Some judges not interested in this. They hear me say, Abejina Hona was showing a bravado, useful as viewers. Is that a focus of the communication ministry? He doesn't communicate. He only speaks to us. Because as a communication minister there, you should be communicating such that you can get the feedback. What feedback does he take from the people when he communicates to us? So I don't call his ministry now under him as a communication ministry, but more or less like a propaganda secretariat in the communication office. No? So I don't want him to be discussed at this point and even give him that. But fast forward to Chief Justice Ishua Godon apeye adia etwa sabone atowa mayeno. The person we can educate say the judiciary now is no longer justice position. Position ene ebeka say what that protection be. That security of tenure any will be free. But the Mahama Amasa security no free. And any chief justice who is appointed by any regime, the term terminus with that government. That one they should be and Chief Justice I suspended and making some pronouncement very, very profound. And then I can say behind every justice of our court, behind me stand every justice of our courts. Behind me stand every justice of our courts. Okay. And so man fantasy offer the judiciary, the head anyway, the Chief Justice. Yes. Obibia or judicial system Lubiano, agent Chief Justice. Yeah. You see, so cool. No one try any tear. I will do. But we not to the free war, they are coming there. Ahoma. Sa pronouncement that Chief Justice make here now. Man fan and quite human tiasi. Until they took it on a lighter note. And until now, committee lekwa tnaseno, or we juma troka. Nanka committee idea juma ashamonsa. Petitions miensa. You back I must media you're putting on hold. You're presenting back media for me the basis of our penny John Dramani Mahama, the directive Nuntino, your radio station, Yatum, Yato Accra dim, Yatu Kumasi dim, and Yato Takradi dim.
na saa letter no nyame adoma echi na mesa kinkan biem. Now I believe say enye NCA for pe eno my do my no. I believe say enye NCA for pe because omo ye professionals. Yenye boni. Now I believe and per letter President Mahama, then opposition leader, what tried to command then sitting president Nana Akufo-Addo 11 February 2022. Ya wakati na Akufo-Addo say radio stations na ya tumo so ebi mo de ka 20 years ya omuntu aka ebi mo license renewal 20 years na omuntu ya 20. I'm talking about 20 years na ebi mo de ka millions of Ghana cedis ya afibia so mo ko renew license no omonye ye de ne ntisa ye de so far de ya tell so mo say an ye krata no mo sign ye no ye say antina no na menka no master no kese no master te kese ne si kromu no eni si ade de ni si ahwerase goodness and I'm missing na ahwerase na wo hol mo no all radio stations all media houses in Accra virtually hol obi ade wo na say sa transmitters na sisi so hol no se President Mahama hu a ya na adwe ne se sign post ana you know ka se Ghana flag na sensen so etiwe no I can safely say President Mahama and waseda and was here to reduce this just because a dissenting voice. We are critical of the government and nothing can stop us. Be better with us so press here say my kanya dwe say the PCG say say to me canon because Ghana you deny idea. If I'm Gordon Asare-Bediako and ya chance ni edin komo few issues been to know latest 8 o'clock on say your best story so nyame adoma channel we can bounce back stronger na ya hwe de air color but mama ne ma hamo nyame adom yesa wo TV so and social media ba eden ya na no meko Kumasi na medru Kumasi ti mama akwa bakora mpopa bibi aboko
de oge kan de be dan ayeboko nyame aye ne de aka de yi President Mahama the man ko dia reset the intimate reset
reset say ka so de be ko echi me ko Kumasi afi am friend ma me amenya no and am friend me sister and am ne ka sa do me so na ma me no so me ne ka sa me sa ne phone wo he fa wo charge am sa do phone de ade this time timi do se hwe say na o TikTok so me ma me o at a 77 plus was so who be TikTok Mr. the bibi actually TikTok so on the phone so na wo hwe na je say na ni age hu no wo hwe saa won tipo a charge the phone adum and that is where the game is then better me say if say me mama now we tibi akohwe TikTok on the phone so saa ma ne phone adum say Friday yi dia and baby ya do no eno no enti stop pushing people around, stop threatening us. Stop it, President Mahama. Stop threatening us. In fact, would you be a radio license? Would you be a TV license? The couple of Ghana news no about quite said the traditional media. Oh, your communication, must be your communication. We know said the ahwadiya new media a deba, and then a difficult couple to be able to be in your exclusive story because okuta exclusive story nene na was so train na ebe the paper no about 3 times a week ba kwa Monday enti Monday unya na nwumre was wo train for okuada de be chino social media da beto abonten it not be exclusive to you again and they first na me soldier for kwapom mu da so GBC na yase ye mo kofi e wo mo nkoma ekomo madwafo for because identity soldier for both GBC ho ban because that a GBC pe any the only media house in Ghana. It is so the Baboni for be called GBC boss. Pino ya announcement say 1 o'clock came. Ya announcement. You 2 of my negu. Obian ko said them. Obian enyane ko ha say ni say and one obia be so. And then if you take over GBC, nothing. You have achieved nothing. And the soldier for kwa umda so ho na or bags go ayi anwea sandbags ni go up on who said that need for so be because you cannot go and make any announcement at GBC be say what take over the nation that should tell you the president they say some media semono traditional media ya ho ade kofom ene obia wo use traditional media bia no wanye wadwen say o de social media beka ho dia you are gone, you are a goner. Did me read the article be newspapers o share the number of newspapers are collapse with you have no idea unprecedented in the history of this we are seeing every day and then called daily graphic say almost circulation you say called daily graphic before then not the most popular newspaper private newspaper here the most patronized one a daily guide and then go to daily guide and look at their numbers say almost circulation figures in ASA called Rivoli circle and what specific Rivoli Orion circle what mukole kwhwe e what first na ye ton newspapers ahomache first bit bi so kwa ahomache and then kwole kwhwe how e ho busy biem enye busy biem and the circulation manager say wo media house you know obi e kofi obi e pade for fraye enti jahunahuna no na obi ansuro first no yesusa no ne e ka chenkra kaka motobi ba and wo ka chenkra se kaka motobi ba fa no ho be emfa no hu eti president Mahama dia wo yen dia thing say obetwentwen so kakra and the bedi ko kakra de bibi ntine se bedi kaka cho de se da enche na MPP internal matters kakra e wo ho no mo galamse asem so e wo ho na president Mahama ko confess e wo UN wako UN sidelines no mo ko didi ko kakra ko confess say COVID-19 e ba wiase say see here Africa president Mahama ko kan wo UN no was say for the past 50 years was it all the gains mpuntu a aba Africa nyina ewo isikasemu ye mpuntu mu nyina no COVID-19 bae no abetwe nyina kwa akire be 20 years president Mahama edrache no ewo America abonte so na afi wo kana no musem eti ene yebedi enkomo na asem kitua bi time me nyambo cha na meka na meti interview bi yese Dr. Brian Champon akoka bibi se one wode policy bi ba se cocoa board yenkwaje syndicated loan bi na enchiwase bi aba ho we I'm not say enchiwase I think say clarity na aba ama uru a honorable Joseph Kujo abeka na bonte se the honorable Brian Champon kan no enya no kraje sadeti CEO of cocoa board anopay ono so abeka se enya no kra enya sadeti na memum de yi me kakra ne se eye collective se aban no board ho modin a eye na na kufu ado aban ene Dr. Bawumi aban ena omabom ho modin se obi so amon ho board modin a ena na kufu ado aban ene Dr. Bawumi aban ena wa amon ho modin yensusu en single out mena medi we baaye mena me yesi da busa wo se wo na the best ka president kufu ado e ka say one penny aka bedi in fact enema ye betima ka say Dr. Bawumi na ipo was thinking outside the box and I was suggesting you know he didn't just go ahead to do it too na I was say president kufu ado e man approval eti president Mahama say eti Dr. Bawumi akure kasa na say wakase one wodi we ball na di we be na say wan fa ni munyam hye bi ama na akufu ado as the president na wa anya ade but you matter the make that say because obetimi the all the lofty ideas aba but when your president says no it is a no wawie wajitum a wo yes me de buy and a president so ma me kwan e de implement na mencha de e de munyam aba na nyina ye kwa baby enye no ano no na afa na we na me na momie hwe ni kakra momie hwe ni kakra ntino ene ye di nkomo kakra me nua panyi George na edu daako e wase no ye former presiding member Gas Central Municipality chief yamo akwaba say na we honorable kama asambre no o ba so wa so honorable do that so honorable sa yeah o digu say o de roman kwa kakra okay mate na Kweku Abeku so wase no Kweku Abeku wo ye social media activist wo ye MPP ni mapa Kweku na ti say pacho wo mic ni ntina ha se de se mu di mu mre pa social media for as ye suro mu
sa
na se de mu ye de
yes suamo
sa ho
na mo ana ye diso
okay mate enti mamenko honorable ho no mra Kweku ni na wa be honorable mamenko honorable Edudako ho no pacho udin de no mo de fra wa ye popular menka Edudako no. Okay, Mati, enti issues na e wo holm no. President Mahama enra MPP for nyina ati sabonte ekoye demonstration kakra de che de sen. Wontimi suppress freedom of speech. Ya no de e wo holm ma wontimi constitution ne ka se constitution na ka se esi hia president obedi 4 years na. Sa na constitution so ka che se hia ye wo sa right to freedom of speech ni nyina e wo holm. Enra ekwa demonstration galamse nsemo so ekoso MPP matters are rising. O man panya ko New York ama Edudako chino they now we start
yo me da say me say oko to say kaka pimpini ojimasi zo no akomusa de no maidi ma me fa kwanya we so na me chia MPP for nyina titru ya His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia any aspirants no enyina me banka me ya elite ka because na kwabraje ya Japan aba so be share former constituency executives ne yewo anya so too.
Oh, okay.
Na say o say that on sa frame.
Oh, of course.
Now one that you kakra na sanko ye. So no buy na he was supposed to meet with coordinators and the
okay.
That say yes coordinators and so no. Afi ne enye wo a wo petumi na wo ba ho ba ya twon de won akogu hotel bi okoro bi so almost okojo money. I feel say party been informed
na to bu ye mamenti ase ye ijira kobraje Japan no ese wo ba enya so tu
or greater Accra
okay
be specific
nyame alba cha ko be ha
sa na information I have ne say urban okobo region amane say me ba mo region num ma be share executives ni selected people be
yes
and I feel say as impending for no hwe no to ni so be share that baso or region bi mu dia yen seize other activity ebema enkrofo no be share on na akoye tete no ayese ye campo nkrofo because me be share obekoye nipa ni fie yese onye den ni ire se mi hu no obekoye say yese yo akose baby eyade a hard because so be too na mo hwe ne sika sem wo opposition no na for no beba na the very people na onim so obe share no oba ya yesi obi afa bi so de yede ekoba me feel say entwaye
it what man share wo mo oba omuni ho
we share na me ka say just from them cool
ba dodo na
like the coordinators electoral area coordinators and share on na ba akokura ni ho because you say one of the aspirants I invite you into the hotel somewhere and I feel say yen hwesa ade ni
I think say a genuine concern may I agree with you say me kai 2007 was a for time na in the past 17 no cross across the country no edu e bo mo hye say ebi o ma nipa me sabe ko region ba ko enti ya say region nyina ba be hye say enti ba ko ba be hye between 9 and then say 11 wonu mu wie say pa na bi so be 12 and 1 to 3 bi so ehia omunya ne sa omomfre aspirants ni nyina no mo enyo mo timetable say netie na omo enya arrangement because for me e was say constituency chairman no ho ani obia timi nya kwan na o share aspirant no obia menye say openasa na say wo mpenasa obeto na say wo ntoma no but obia nya opportunity enhia wo mo na obia fa na say ntoma nim de obuka kwaka benya no na de ko baby but afo bedu no be ko na obi ni ho be ko say be kan le ba ko so bo prepare no ho what ne ko for up to car na form sa na oba na obi enu ho no mo dia emwa omo fa timetable no ko na mpene fo nhwe timetable no mo nyi say busumi wi ana na otwe mienu wi edie nipa mienu ene wo Greater Accra omo wia wi mu na beba we mu wia say ni say mpene fo fa nkwa adwendwe mu
am say me de say wakaza personally me ni kwamraji ajapa
ba sa okoi
me oh no na in fact now first speed be amede but na pese opinion tone sa frɛ ye nyina ye fumba akumu ade ye ntie de obi ye de eka because said ye menu mienu nyina bi di ho adanse aba ne de ya to awie da ka se ye kan but ye ma kwan na sabi ye se untimi oni ama wanka se o ka hire na enye even though onipa na ba Greater Accra my Greater Accra no was afraid Greater Accra for no out of the region into a place or china na de ade obi de ya wa nya wo de no
ye fa
nyese odi obi tina de meka no na eye President Mahama asema wo kan ene ne confession ni ene ma eye den e koso no papa Ghana fo hu hwe ade ba ko isi yesi opening e kan asembia eye papa fa ho a eye nhira eye bone nso a eye nome me kai sa na adodankwa akufuaro aka akra na odi na djuma e ba wie no okọ aso aten either Presby or Methodist Church bi na oka asem sa wode wo ho to awurade so a emfa ho de nipa be ye den
ebeye omeka kan ya
wie ya no kore ne bedadi ye nu ba bia mpo anenne everybody me kai tamwa this drone ade by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or Soja man anado e baye hanabisu ni nkrofo ka kire ye say drone no sebi ye de behwe ma edware den
omo ho
ade a ebebo man ma sebi owuo mpofrimu wuo ni ade a obi ho owuo bu a na enye say is avoidable death fan say owaka obi owo na aka no poison ye de ha no da bend ye betu car afri Kumasi aba ebia kolebusi ebeje medical ade de akọhwe enen so de hwe na akọhwe den NDC for us on the hwe na ade na akwa NDC for us on TV da nyame ompa abone ompa power pe ana Sam Joy sebi na Sam Joy de obi aye Minister of Communication there anka health issues ye den efa ho be okoko jiro na okọhwe how the drone works now full say or no okọ da bi eye hom konkon de pia ne ko na Ghana fo ahu on tenten ni on den otietia emra na nado ne MPP fo ka kire Ghana fo say yabo ye homode from 2016 to 2019 ye nyina ye di ho adanse say na oman no we on the right path and ye me ye den koye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can say when the fundamentals is weak the exchange rate will expose you and crofo antena se me se nde nyina eye nokore ne said the na eye nokore den enrad because when the fundamentals were good from 2017 to 2019 bibia di ho dance say na ne me eye den ekoyi ekosi say yare ekodi awuo covid eba ya ebe tisa the whole world ko mo aja Africa ya nye ya ma ye nema nyina san ye den eye basa ye kire mu kire nkrofo kire ewi ase no ye ka no kwara na kire Ghana fo say ye ntie na entie kira because a commodity nipa utu ni fubia na enye den entona so e masa nema we nyina ye den e ko so ye ka say sabi me kai sai me share and this ka papa dia mo ka bebrebe no sabi ye no ma ya nya akwanya ya peja ye na nanu ye soya ye kasabi osi mi soya mi yare mi soya mi yimusuo these two no pe ana besi ho kwan se ebia obe fulfill some of the mandate as a sub chief or chief in your community yare ne de wen enye covid enwa musuo ne de wen Russia Ukraine war ba ye man ne ma nyina be dane ye kire Ghana fo mo kire no so onye de onwonte da because obi aba be twa track kire say 24-hour economy adwuma ba ko nipa me yansa na be dey ebeye enne mi hie obi dan busa was me de fasa asem ni free o de asem oye nyina ebo afu no ana obeka no ye de ewa eti say President Mahama enne ono anse na enye sa na enne wakogina ba bi ka no kore no eye nyame na eyi na nado apia bonti ahye na no nyam se papa no say no ye den no kwarefo na Ghana fo nso etie the one thing said you can social media and other networks ye be mo mbeti asem a President Mahama kan because you catch them from beginning the papa sabi papa na o yiri ja o kofi na o hwa na oba na ye so osan ba hwe won so yi aye hu didi amane ntibi ni di kan
ebia no ba sa we na
de me kan sa mpajo so because Bible catch them say on konkon to free ni pa das animu no okoko chinchia no wanya baabi antra oba back be check say baabi o free ye no
ekwan so da ho
ya ho no oba na ekwan da ho said the covid-19 ni Russia ma ho kire kakra ba ntina na ekwan ada Ghana mu kakra no se Bible say oba okose sa ada mo ni demons akese mu akese no be ye nso na de kan ho na ode ye de empire ne ye bo sra urade se ye nyina ya bone de bo mfa ye bone nchen because sabi you see the paboni ni ka say kro eba no so ye de etimi. So for me I don't wish NDC bad because the Ethiopia 2028 they are going out, but some be say ni kwata sebita frache ne ayi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia beba na ne ye be ye din ansa na Ghana fo na say no enu ti ne ye bom pa ye say on the said ye tie no on ntimi nya ne better on nya ne said ye on beto no na enye de emwa na me de ba eye demonstration enra e course so e be di kan da organizers of the demonstration na say some dwen ho sa, but I was expecting even NDC for youth ene on tete social media enso sabe akwanya aba eni nti obi anso e kire na dwen ne papa mo bone on kire wa dwen say ka on nyina emeka ho because yeso koto say ohurie osi unu aso a ka kire ne say sorry free yeso enka say sorry ne so because the ekoi yanhwe ye na say 2028 NDC ko out yi na say MPP fo bi nso ka say the NDC ba on be ye no on be ye sa na man ye ko ya na say ye ba edi sa huna apobo ene say the wo kan because untumi radio ni ade e ka no korama Ghana fo ahu ba bia no kora ne ye den edenti no afa ni esi ba bia police kora no enye ho say ho na ye
ai si e go too free ho yes, you could free.
As I see, we are not so busy down.
By baby, yes, first, I mentioned I'm person maker. Baby, ye transmit anything. As I said, so no, a one class media, and said, Gongo, as one or no to DC. Indeed, ye call for a crumple. Security man, I know, share security man, no, share said, Gongo po, what is our share?
Okay.
And I said, dear, hormono, Ghana flag at this inside Zoom. And then if you senior man, you're Kohata. What can I say, the body?
So I make as a subbing campaign for soccer to say a trim ceremony, a same as was Sanky in back one on your in the back. It is Sabi, say, won't to me the ene baby sinning yadia, say, do a gongo diano. Nanka, what they were for Hodi and you when you no one also the Yimi in Aya day, and I walk with me. Now, who Jawbia? Young Kai who said, America crabino, and fear nine, ye chum ho, and yen fear nine be who. Abosomen cron, a Sia day, Ako, a say. Messi adia chew peka hu say aka akra na u abidu because hu fie ne so na aye den ati fie ni bi emeka ho ebi eso na ye den ye bo an eso te so easy for us to know say fie no eso te ya na eti o na de wo ye nne no ye se aba de bo tachi no ya nto ankene ye de koto ba bi unfortunately koto owiem e ma owia bo ya ma ye tin ye de bo ba na afi na okekam. So what I say, but I don't think it's the next Bawumia government, you know, Baba ye the NDC ye de, but ye Ghana for, be a yet Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the best sanction, but ye thing and cry or Jubilee House, be a better near see be a to be or day a Kurabiasia, ye Ghana for. So ye best President Mahama, a woman who had ye, yes, so Pamu Bema, Bema today. Otuni bema so otuni bema the ekeka kono sabi yentimi nchi Ghana fo nyina anye den emu e komo a start ba ene ma start nya den enkoyie na wo se mabo ba mu nsu masa so wa no me boss ma na ma so wa no one day mumu be ye den abekasa e ho no na de ayem hwehwe na ye den ebre omanfo nyina. Eti na on that score no kakra metimi aye dey aka ho no emre nti.
All right, nana mba cho ye dase ma menko Mr. Abeku ho no Kweku Abeku first time appearing on the show. Eti say
nyame adumo
le de nyame ase nyame adum ahode ho no sisi a no yam hyehye wo kasa na wusuro.
Well senior dey kan ma menda o se wa ma me akwanya se membra hana Misme metre madwen kakra yen twetwen oman Ghana hon komo I mean fanchi anso ma minu no mo TikTok especially fact based network one a so
fact-based network.
Fact-based network.
Okay.
Oh, yes, she mo ano pebia na no cry war on my way mo ankrofo person mo disi no. Na yen so ya danya di akere ebusuafo e wo internet ne so. And then you call me don't wash out area me say about Patriot Alliance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that I didn't design it.
Exactly. Me back with their bro.
Be fata me pa achen o rampon.
Serious. Me watch it so almost my mintia omuni. Na yeah, question I'll be say me say me kasa na me sure. No correct. In fact, they are to about December 2024. I think that the best decision you make here was when Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Babontin Ebeka said Adrebreo your election Majiatu Melusu Intino I was say a bought on mine hobby. It's your Jitum in Crawford here, but it was the best. Because clearly so we share your two baby year anyhow NDC any Crawford Mufi assessor almost say Nyama attacking here and there. In fact, na idea na eyehu. But the anan when say ebekwa aba be see to the extent say first year John Dramani Mahama His Excellency aba abemu Ghana for ama utumi. In fact, for the first time tumi edema John Dramani Mahama na yana meka say see 3 times e Ghana your body politics mu yedi kan 1957 na osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Ghana nyinaji to me man so medi mampehini edi kan because also a independent MI. The atosumienu Chairman Rollins or the coup ebeje to me fee on my Ghana for 19 years. The third time the Ediama John Dramani Mahama. The difference is that for John Dramani Mahama a democratic coup d'etat and it happened here. So Ghana for the co-opposed in a coup general cast here tuaba. But to me Ediama no say a day the legislature, a parliament, a diamano. Now even the judiciary, we share the air course to see we're taking control. And then the fourth realm estate, the watchdogs, no casa de man for no crowns no. Where to me and near born home taking control. Clearly it tells you say a democratic coup d'etat on my way. But Nakai idea back one Ghana for sure and says to me a diama we with the best some man for no man some fast today. But what are we saying? Intimidation upon intimidation. The promises are the ma yenti Ghana for near mudidi and then no and the social media now the same NDC for you so yeah the winning power no almost say there be and also be a casa or internet in so be they are saying said they are controlling the traditional media so also the digital media and also they want to control it which you can't and on our air cost on me I was say one thing say you to a baby I didn't see so no my name and Crawford didn't come and I told them say look John Dramani Mahama you're experiencing a 1.0 right 2013 to 2016 the unfortunate at the my young Ghana for any the fortunate at the more no NDC for and said that time not the internet wasn't big into nyama bebre or yeah no yen to me na ye mu bebre ni youth na abanya so the time no now they were young need access to internet so no mun to me monitor ehun nyama or yeah that is why and then fast forward 8 years down the lane the NDC were able to rebrand him as a savior. But some of us, because of history, at least to make kind, we know so John Dramani Mahama is never going to do anything. So did to me share inside, and then we said this time around we are not going to go mute. I remember your Genesis, you see your money 6 months because or you are buying for fraud. Yeah, buying for Benya. And on social media, I told my people, say, look, there is nothing like 6 months. On the 7th of January, you do a Siakunda, so it is your responsibility to serve the people. And equally, it is our responsibility to hold you accountable. So we are going to do that. And okay, I'm not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia consider me or say we will criticize you constructively. Yeah. And that is what we do. I am shocked saying the president to me ain't taking the same criticism or no or got no position or yeah. Even though we are doing it constructively, no say oh when says still destructive until he has to curb us and then mute our mouth so that he will have his way. But let him understand. Baby a Ghana kwa kudu no. Ye nyina ye hwe. O man ye ya ma yen. Yenka said John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, may be a brosu. Yes, you may have on the portion or share Ghana for Undiso. Hey, Galamsey.
Before I become Galamsey. Okay. Enra, will be beside the question be say, me sure say, Nancy, Ebia, at Timdidier, at take center stage, it was social media, especially even traditional media, Quano, if you move the atem, but no more. Ba social media nessa attempted aba or more any unfounded allegations bebre it will be say e be compana person Mahama person sanitize system no enti na wo chichin kofo no me wo me ansam de man no ba ma minti wo so wadwen wo ne say
okay me wan say nipa ni bisa o to me survive and no witness Mahama 8 years na Sami Jamfika ho na Sam George ka ho ye friend den
say na black one so ka ho
black one mu nyina ka ho otumi tina se witness ye on our media on our socials kasa o mo kan ye ensem o mo ka fa na adodan kwa akufu ado ho atibidi a ye di no even on our digital social media then time o kwa na ye de na adodan kwa akufu ado ato ni afa sebe chimpanzee ni ya di ato no ho yes na ado look like a chimpanzee we survived this. And then we say, at the about politics, somebody we sat in this country. At what time we say, people go on Facebook. You will meet 5,000 people, not with internet. So, almost check Kelvin Taylor say, "Oh, the Ghana for them."
Oh, okay. No more enjoy activity.
Enjoying. No more.
And I'm also enjoying.
Comment. I'll see. No more trouble. More fire.
Okay.
More fire.
Some more fire the year do na expire.
Good. It is a more fire. Na ma tutu jana ma inde jana dere na dere di abamo side a ade na mo pensuo di aguso. Mpacho tema say. So you see enkrofon so sua ye abraba aye bo ye sua ade.
Let's say be so aye sua tra.
One say wo ko school ye ko school. Me teacher o kan say me tira me o se kwaku. Ade a me kira wo ndey. Me nkira wo se braba ye te se me. Me kira wo se be ye bro nia me ba bia me wei sen me so. Na kira me hu a me tunya ye proud say me na me kira kwaku abi eku ade na ndey wa den wa sen me so.
It is enkofo akwate me die school.
Enti no o me sua ade na and then o mo face o ma graduate.
Okay.
E bia baby a ujafuja no 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 ye o ye degree but we no mo fere say there be agesua de osua o so obo bra ko.
Ibi my MPhil. Ibi ko ye PhD.
Thank you. But then no mu ntumi no. But me ye mo monti ase afa nya adwuma na sha ase. You see ade ba akopɛ the NPP o share party aye dom a ene ma the way aye tete ye ne how ya share party ne dia to ye mpanyin fo anya tem didie. But the area ne say we will criticize you, we will tell you the painful truth. That is what they cannot handle. So they feel say once they hear those things in their ear and it's coming from the NPP, it is an insult. So they have to attack no matter how. Opa kanokra kire no, opa fa nokra ne betu nanim na kenkan kire no. Ohun ni say yatem didie. So enye say obi di obi atem. But remember, say woto boa, bia woto boa no koye na abrewa na te won jonde onyansa nto. But baby so beto no na bia branch na wo ho, o be retaliate. So sa nyete omoto a na ebi obi nso ato what you say but you survived some times ago. You survived Calvin Taylor, you survived sebi traditional media yi mu me person me bo obi adi but even mon crop for amuni omo ye in the traditional space we you survive ye bi no nya atem didi and nsem we bi anka ye nkoda na ye we kire ye titi bi echa ye hwem no enwo se ye te wo yaso mi yesua no ye te ye na ye ka na tra obi am san question sometimes yet say hey penhini pa na kasa say ba waka and obekọ ase no na nkrofo ma no more fire ya didi penhini fo mo kro imu nyina atem na ye in the politics na ye so ye kire ya adwen kakra wo hu and ye ditu ato ye nkon ye so kasa ye becho minua fanti comedy ni ye taa no minua ewa ni ye taa no is ya ye kasa bia obekọ ye comment section ase we are looking for you, we will come after you, we will do this, we will do that. You see, threatening upon threatening. Or call DMs. Yes, a new message. Yes, a per location, and then or say IP address. Me or can IP na me person me tiase. So yet me tenase na me say IP cross chire den. Me nua me entiase a me nyae no. E ya asem a ye ka chire no 2015 2016 anya ne de. Na o person sign ka sa asem ne biem ti na wa hye da ma abbreviation say IP no. Okay 2016 MPP choir campaign Samira Baumia e ka asem bi or say incompetent president.
We see you. Okay. Trade fair.
IP.
Incompetent president.
So what IP no can now.
So one no.
You
profiling no.
Thank you. You are now abbreviation of the IP. But aside and no Samira Khan no Ghana for the account almost say inconsistent president because o catch Ghana for so obey A o buy a who ye B. What you say o catch Ghana for say yema 120 days a social contract over the band ebeto galamsey so over here was there be afekra na me mukena mama me kwan na me ntu na sika ne beba ye botom. So when you say these things you are being inconsistent, and then when you come after the people you are being inconsiderate. It is our IP na sanctuary say inconsiderate president. What you say because
IP no so sanctuary
and all demonstrating. So he's being inconsistent, he's being inconsiderate, and then they account back with their main
they're incompetent
and that clearly what you can say you na ye hu ya say you catch her say you buy your bema mo adwuma ye na ndey you buy your pam nkrofo afi adwuma mu what you say you catch her say you buy your bema kanye abo aba form na ye ma kanye akoso na me ne oti ya toso beboa ya toso and na me ne oti ya tofu also. And so you promise yes anya me nyina ye buy your bema na aba form. So when you are doing all these things now still no your focus is to go after the people who will criticize you for you to at least know say enye maybe wo ha wo ya enkoye. So redirect your purpose. Now say also your microphone so come manual to because you want to control your people are calling you supreme president. Listen, the supreme is still end with 4 years. The unfortunate thing for the NDC is that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will not run again. So this intimidation and all, remember, you see, we have survived Chairman Rawlings for 19 solid years. Ghanaians, yet name and Yama Yu ya Tatani, and then but people survived it. Today, the young people were able to put themselves together to reclaim power in 2000. It does not mean that we will be paying, and it does not mean that we will not survive it. We will, but the point is that maybe the retaliation, will be different because President Kufuor, the only thing that saved the NDC then was reconciliation. Okay. Yeah. Good. That was the only thing. Do you think the next MPP will do reconciliation? That is a question. But what if we do not do and we also want to retaliate? If not reconciliation and it is retaliation.
And I will not be adding.
And it should be a caution to them. And you see, the unfortunate thing is that the young people in the NDC, they will suffer what is happening today, and that is dangerous. We shouldn't. The democracy I are fighting for 33 years now. You mean to water just because of someone's interest, just to prove something, just to prove how superior you know. We should sacrifice the democracy and just because of Ghana democracy being in there.
Mekwala na hwa san ba ho be busa question back so we say we are no freedom bia comes with responsibility and a freedom bia so on limitations kakra you need responsibility no hono no me ba be busa we say maybe say me essential ni but at times so bia ya na essential for ye giri say you superhuman as you giri say ye dey we are beyond reproach we are beyond criticism. As a dear penny, it me come was me ya by can't do any boof. And I think that's I didn't see it in the year did with them. Mebusa say more so more social media, new media activists no. Who say most more freedom and more enjoy no. It comes with responsibility and how are you going to make sure say you do everything within the confines of the law and they said yes your tradition because every producer your tradition minimum fear ukomo your chatting didi. Enti mame emana na ho ayi na before me ba ho na yi kitwa bi wase no mo oh my goodness them say okay I think I was say Brian cannot take credit for new model for financing cocoa purchases in Ghana. I am compelled to request Honorable Brian Champol to retract his public claim to ownership of the idea behind the new model for financing cocoa purchases in Ghana. I think this phenomenon, which has become popular, described as a few moments later, has become so rampant that making all of us suffer credibility, honesty, and integrity deficit. We should resolve to be consistently truthful to reverse this negative image we keep creating for ourselves. On a lighter note, NDC leaders are in the comfortable lead, and I treat NPP leaders not to overtake them. Folks, it is known and on record at Cocoa Board and EMT that Honorable Dr. Bene Champon, then Minister of Agriculture, did not support the new model of financing cocoa. Before presentation of the new model at EMT, I had received complaints of frustrations from the CEO, Joseph Boahin Edu, and his Deputy Chief Executive FNA that their minister wasn't approving the new financing model. As a result, I went to meet the Chief Executive in his office to encourage him. There is a lot I cannot say here, or let's challenge to a public debate on this matter. And now, until we Joseph Kujo, or a former EMT member, or a former MP Efia, and now or a former investment manager, Ghana Cocoa Board, and now know what this are the abbey. Minim, maybe me person know about so. Ebi awe any once about beka, but yeah, you know, a quite the pompous or a crano. Say now, Besha say, Obepese, all aspirants, any supporters, and they be contact you. And suddenly I could talk about 31st January. No,
yo, me that say, I'm say on this particular issue, no, you make kakran say as a party, young guy who said, yeah, no, there will be say no bomb play da koro nti yenya careful me giri say ye wura bra champion so ye besere o ma ase the phobia no ubeko ba bi ni e hype ni ade eni pay di wachi me kai na nsan o de don bi call eye ni hotel ho e wo ekoda ho no ni ade na me ni pebos ni pa ye call ye be 200 na ho no an ye hia ye no na emu be 190 the onso on just on be jon ahome no de on asem o kan kro 190
so ma say ni ya frem mo say mo mra onso party ni
ye be sere ni say emre bebri ye den e wo nanim it you onye careful some of the things are all ye den or can it because on one ka say nim pefe say abawe enya de obeye den obewi but o chira nti onye careful some of the things he says say the be a o chira on city anwan fe nkoso onye den and for it. The master, young Crawford say, yes, you'll be from Kuma Yam from Monya Day. Issues like this, you know, Mama Yam penny for years, so Tremotin. Yenina, whether Jonah swallowed the whale or the whale swallowed Jonah. It is still under Nanado Danko Kufuado, a presidency, Nimreso, and a sad good initiative we had. By Obia, now we are MPP at that time, you are part of it. I quite remember I was the assembly member for. From 2010 to 2024. At the back, we are assembly member assembly member be any or highway. Assembly member be a man is cancer faculty. That be the highway. Once in Yamia wa drum now Mereso. A beer Ghana water for Edin Subefa or Honoma Ayona Adiaba. The fact say one I assembly member now Mereso. BBI besi bia no enya na wo ye ba ye campaign ye can say o me who say me na my road my gate my say assembly member most of these things ne kura no and go through the municipal assembly sometimes your MC you kura nim contractor kon ye dey but as assembly member once Jumadi na course or electoral area at the time you are the assembly member. Me who anything wrong so be take credit of it. Okay. And until the mesre yen penny for ne say ye kire mu na ne ye twa so. Ensem bebre wo ho. Enti mo ma yen kasa ye nyai NDC for ene on ne ma e course asebe enkoyie no. Ne yen enkoje ye ho achi ni. Some of these things who say be oh mami kire me na me tebrofo me na metimi a kire ase o kire mo no no time for no so advance no dey won so kokra me ba just sort ase this say ya chiwe ya yese ni nyina no strategy onim NDC nim pefe say ade aye enye but the issue is that ye kire Ghana for say ye better light so light ni ye kukuru me ye dey kosoro say be ye ni ma MPP fo nya kwan ni yen kan ho asem bebrebe nti no ni ya shada achi obi just to divert the attention ene yete yi semeti ochran for the first and then the first time in Wabishia so ochran men kata samra meti se bibia to ade me ye nyina mejai se me baba ye dey e be hwe what is happening to me me nipa eno no so abasa no ade fofra nka me ye no se mejai ade ye be kase eti achine de ye be koso ache me ne wo kase aka to na bro na Judicial TV. We are almost done with our social media studio near the me ma me frame no se kwabra na wo de ye chiche nkrofo ogun no na ye se won so ogusu ekowura na me se ante me de me wi a medical police station wa ko report me
omonti advance
but ni nyina achiri mesere me nuanom tituru nkuma no atem didie enye no and the bema obetimi aka wasem apesa wo
yeah
okay you can criticize very hardly but mesere say do ba bia ye kasa ye ntie ye chi hu say asem we it is so sofo gira ho anka abetimi aka asem ya me always say this say asem abunum say wontimi nka wo sofo anim no enka wo social media because sofo onso bere atem didie de enye na sha ase o me kai say misade ba me kai aba Kwame Nkrumah ni yesi o de kankan nyame bi hye na wo koka say kankan nyame hye Jubilee House awo na uvie
dabi
asif say ade bi afa na aye dey aba the only difference is say the new media no ama asem no ka wa ha asem aye ka say
the dimika
me ne wo ka say mi kroma chima pedwafo otie me nyanko bi testi mi sesi a so me hwe why no also wo banda hinkro
wow
so me fa phone na afre ko aka me free but with a press of a batim no asem ketekete na eko me feel say ye betimi akansem asebe ho te a enipa nso betie but ni nyina ye se de odi akire sua de odi kan dai
nantie
sa nkrofo Kevin ya man ya se o hye bonka bi mo ne yere kitchen no wa ye studio bi ho a odidi hu enti e ba ya na o Kevin no mabu ni so feel say Kevin tell ayesa no kuta this number of views there ma men so menye bi na menye dey
obi are entitled to views
me pa cho so te say it is all about views eti enne asem papa ayeti say CNN na all can be for Africa ho at the papa for Africa ho CNN will never show it on the other way but ma sabi ye hu sa akola bi ebia ne maame ye said ye tete ye no hu so penin so ne ma na okofia sa akola akwoje ne ma na ade ye dey at the moment CNN reporter be hu sa akola bi ho na ne ye twa ye say a child labor in Africa but so
yeah
because rabi mi nipa bi o Finland me kwa ni ba boy because so kwa am say akola 14 years o kwa so da bi aha de o ma kwan a ye wa adwuma no nkola ye dey eye on the on wa adwuma nkola ye ba ye de ye ni adwuma nkola ye dey but so say eti mesre mi nuano mo a on so eba today say you say on hwe say atem di die ni ye te so ebeboa because MPP ye sebita frache akrache for abai no kwan ye mpanimfo de tete ye mfiri tete no my copy blindly with what others are doing but just what I say ye nya away ye de wunya ono ni di atem me say atem di e woda wie ye o obedi di e bedu ba bi no when people get to know so we ko bie na ya ye nko an o ye nkrofo and you see my young brother sitting here na ne ka say na wo ka asem a mum ye nya atem di ni free your body politics mum say 2028 NDC di pusa kentema emye no afoforo de san ye den ema won kora no a
obekofi
ene ma besesa
obi yesefe no Lily Wells minimum so ebe ma na wo ba de aha watu bia ma me amane me kakra wo YouTube wase Abeku tell Gordon that you are not just a social media activist, you are a TESCON vice and communication director of BOPA and San was actual status BOPA
so I'm the director of communications for Bold Patriot Alliance.
Lily said was a social media activist also. Okay. It then I will pen on BOPA.
Director of communications
for BOPA. Okay, Martin Lily Spacho, my Lily Wells. Lily Wells, my men Pem was bia most one of our IPM Dimechi. All right, Abeku, Yankwe. It's question of beside so it said in our quest to say you be promote to your party near ma. In our quest to say hypocrisy what abandon. In our quest to say incompetences in the war abandon you bet me assure. In our quest say inconsistency what abandon in the big shooting in ano. How do you make sure say we don't cross the boundary. Say you the dear team chan to go for so and threat will be life expectancy or those things that is saying.
Okay, all right. I'm say
Nana Kasa.
Nana Kasa no. In fact, or the advice my youth, you know. Na me started and so me can say I belong to a platform I social media and fact-based network. So what you doing now? It tells you say in Sambia you pese ye can. Ya say you pay a dance here. You see, I me can say Sambia one no kore. And asem no nia all kano e one no kore. Nia o tie ni so one no kore. But no kore ba ko e ma asem ni di mu no. E ya dance here. Asem nechi.
Okay.
Nti you obetumi di dance here ata na asem echi no. Ono e na asem ne yeden edimu. Nti na okokota. Yes, we deal with fact and not the truth. Now, eduma ye ene ni aye pese ye ana na mo aye tu yi. Ade ba akone se ensem bebre wa abonten a edos na nso no kure na ewe etechire no e kakra bi. Enti obetumi aka se nya opese wo kan bia no. But make sure say wo ka asem no a echena so bi etoto wano a obetumi di adanse ayeden akire. Because se wo ko ka asem ne se nya wo pe na ye fra o se bekirem na wantumi ankirem de obi bekirem ama wo me ba jo atemase obi bekirem anyi nkirem no enya wo de ebia ba bia di wo ba ko bie no na anya wo de nti me de anya meka ne se social media and bia fu bia it is a new world order a obi aye den a join it is a global village nyame ye wa hei me papa otelate or he what you say lele Wales or contact you or UK or she
oh sir
good
okay
so it tells you say assembly make kan wa ha me fese bia mete wuntumi na America within this space in America no e ko ba bia e pete enti se meka na se mentumi anka nyiye na eche na hwehwe me a se me de me ho kote kora ni otie asem a meka ende no obeyi mi ama nti wo se me making sure say asem na meka na maka nyiye se me ni wa dance ya de a me menka kora but you see ye ne sa no so no na
I that me one man me teacher be was sending me message and was saying me bo school be din na she taught somebody in class 4 God na Asare-Bediako meow.
So you see,
can you imagine?
You see,
about 30 years ago.
Good.
That's a bit that material is a media term. Na me chantro na mama so just say de na me si bunu pa na me that was very
we had enchira wasi
what
esa na or the trial crowd was nyame a
I want to go power send the message because of kwaso by associate yourself
so eno na America say party na ye dom no the NPP na the ba ko a e ma ye dance from the other political parties especially the NDC and you say yen no akrache for na tete and omo chechire party we see ho no but aye esi omo ani so no eno na wose ye den ye di akire nsem bia omo kan bia no mo ya dance e te akire the entire and the judicial year suffer because in 2022 His Excellency now President John Dramani Mahama told his people, and in fact Felix Kwache Krakan is on record say for the last 30 years the judiciary has never been on their side. That is why another end time and I so your call to be an almost say unanimous FC. And that is why they did whatever they have to do to, so to say, reset the judiciary.
But why should the judiciary be on somebody's side? Judiciary, they should not be on the side of anybody.
You see, the point is that
on the side of the facts.
You can be loud. You can say whatever you want to say to everyone in a public space. But when you walk into the law court, you have to prove it.
Yes.
I will say, Assembly ano nokre. Ubia wane nokre. Me amete ye me wane nokre. Ni otie me nso wane nokre. But the man so ye bemu no e ya dance here ta asem nechi. So whenever they can say whatever they want to say, but when they walk into the law court, a dance here no ebiti omo. And clearly we witness one 2012-2013 petition. Your court na dekem. Ya dance here go. Emra doctor to can you and I were not there. No bono papa. They said they would do the same thing in 2020-2021. We saw what came out. What you say? So they feel say, and as much as they want to compete, as they do not have. They always lack it. So now they want to manipulate the system. What you say? But we have always been with the fact, and we are going to always stand by it. The NPP, mpanyinfo a yɛdi ɔmo akyi nyina they have demonstrated that nti yɛn so a yɛyɛ youth no we should learn me de bia me kasa asɛm bia no wote na sɛ wonnim asɛm no fapem a ɛnka bi me saa na meteɛ asɛm no mennim ne fapem a membɔ so me ne wodi nkɔmmɔ wɔ ha asɛm bi a wobɛka akyerɛ me sɛ mennim a men comment I will listen, write, and the next day that I will meet you, we will debate on it. You get it? And yeah, same year, and I said, but one no better than we should all, take cautions from all these things. In as much as we want to, I will not say we are attacking, we are criticizing the government. It is our responsibility. In as much as there is freedom of speech, remember you have to also mind your speech.
Yeah.
So in doing this, we come from a traditional home whereby Sanyama when you are we in fact in Kofobe provoke you. Because if you look at what the government is doing, seriously, or provoke Ghana for. I don't lie, they are provoking Ghanaians. Yes. So you see, sometimes you tell Ghanaians this and then look at, for instance, Dennis Miracles, Eko Kwenyako, and then you call her. Because for the squatchu for you beside say, yes, Galam say, you say, he wants an evidence. So a person will be man evidence and say, no, me want you krum. That's what I say. So somebody have to give the evidence. That is what took Miracles there. You get it? So when you say this, that's your debate. That's all now be contested. You are provoking the people.
And I said the more they provoke, the more we expose them.
That is the point. And you'll be answering obi how pushing now. Now you referee no class again no cry. He has to face you. And that is a be another no idea. To me the message. Say ye nkomo didie mu ya enkyerɛkyerɛ ya dey ba engagement a ye have no ye make sure say ye be control your ho kakra na ye nsɛm a ye be ka no we can say it as it is but it will not always be like this.
Yes,
at least we can do that for the party we come from and mpanyinfo edi anim no we can learn these things from them. And I believe said in doing that Mahama do yet den in fact not Mahama because on the 4 years where we the NDC they can go to hell and return. 2020 year the NPP is coming to power. And that is confirmed.
Okay. Mati eti we Kweku Abeku were Director of Communications.
Yeah, I'm a Bold Patriotic Alliance.
Bold Patriotic Alliance. It's Bupa for Director of Communications.
What kind of cool TikTok for
fact-based network. Omono somewhere compilation be issues be about what me use facts about more compile video ni mamia you bet me area ba enko because social media na nya agwo enko for quantity nya asane ye show about debate you bet me education dey bibia. All right and na edu so ebeka me ho and na we dey yame aba next week e be say aba na ya hwe ne ye di enko
Galam say ni yankan wasem
omuda so tutu don't worry enko ba bia
Galam say dey say this year ne ya betra e wo NDC abamu
when wo ba na me wo ho asem kapa because
no technical issue to be 10% point.
Okay.
E jam adman next week I don't go but jam adman next week fanebra na ye share ye federal collaboration why okay me that's enti Kweku Abeku and Jordan na edu da former presiding member Central Municipal